Hello everyone, and it's time for another figure review video, and this one is actually on some figures from a comic series, The Walking Dead. And these are MiniMates figures, which I have made another MiniMates video on the Invincible ones. If you haven't seen that already, you can check that one out. If you haven't read Invincible yet, you should check that out as well, especially if you like The Walking Dead. It's the same writer as the comic book. It's a really great series. They're both really great series in my opinion. Now, the Minimates are kind of interesting. They're really different from, I'm going to back up, from other types of figures. At first when I saw them I thought, oh, these are just like Legos, that was the word. They're actually compatible with Legos, which is pretty cool. I've never really had a reason to do that though. But anyway, you can kind of see this is the image of the first series. They're printed on the back of the packagings here, the packages, and it's telling me what two I got in mine. And then I've got another one back there that came with the two other zombies. So the two I don't have from this first series are Shane and Glenn, it seems. So, means in this video I can show you Officer Rick Grimes, the one-armed zombie, the burn zombie, and the guts zombie. And I'm sorry, I guess I forgot there's another one back here. I forgot the punk zombie and the nerd zombie. I don't have those either. It's fine. I really got these because, one, I have the Invincible Minimates, and their parts are compatible, and I can do some pretty funny zombie stuff. Let's zoom back in. Pretty funny zombie stuff now that I've got them both, and I can mix the parts together. And because I wanted some sort of Walking Dead paraphernalia, because it's one of my favorite series, and I don't have anything for it. And that's just weird, you know? And there's so many figures and everything out there, the really nice ones, and you'd think I would get one of those, but you know, I didn't really want to spend too much on them. Honestly, those figures are really expensive, and I actually got this deal on eBay for these 2 packs for like $8. So it's really great. So before we get into these guys, especially Rick, he's got so many parts, it is absolutely insane. Actually, you know, I should probably start with him before I get tired and start trailing off a bit. One thing I do want to point out about these figures, though, these clear stands that they're all standing on right now, you don't get. It's so upsetting because Rick is really hard to stand. He basically needs this thing. The way I got these was from my Invincible series. They're just very graciously donating them at the moment to the Walking Dead figures. But hey, you know what? At least they stand. The problem is mainly with the zombies. When you want them to do like these tripping over, you know, walking and running at you poses, which typically uses just one foot. They're leaning really far in one direction, and you'll really need the stand to help them hold themselves up when they do that. But the upside to getting these figures, though, is they come with so many accessories, and it's great. And aside from the fact that they're all very posable, and like I said, they're interchangeable parts, it's great. There's a whole lot of cool stuff in here. In terms of accessories, I'm going to start with Rick first, because he actually takes the cake with by far the most. Actually, the only competitor in this is like one of the zombies who has a one-arm option, which, you know, whatever, I don't really care. I'd rather have the more detailed broken arm, in my opinion. But anyway, so we're going to start with Rick right here. Let's try and get my focus to look at him. Cool. There we go. We see Rick with his hat that he's wearing that is interchangeable. You see his vest he's wearing that can come off, which then his sleeves would be a different color. So he has 2 interchangeable arms that will pop out of the ball joint socket and give you this blue short sleeve with a different hand. The hands he's wearing now have a different kind of paint, which I think, if we can get it to load, or focus, I think was supposed to be a glove. Anyway, it's slightly wider on the bottom half than it is the fingers. I think it's supposed to be a glove. For some reason the focus is being stubborn right now. It's very bright. So, those are 2 different arms. His hat, like I said, was an accessory because it can pop off. It is attached to the hair, by the way, just because his other part is the hair with no hat. So you can actually pop that back on instead, if it will let me do that. There we go. Glad that it's a little tighter, especially his head right now is on a little tight because I have his chin, as you can see, holding down that strap for the bag, which is holding his other accessories. So that bag is typically hard to get on his shoulder, so as you see I did that little trick where you crush it with his chin. I would recommend doing that basically every time because it's really hard to get him to hold that up any other way. Let's see, other accessory wise, just from what we're looking at, his hand popped down right there. He's also holding this axe here, which I have found many uses for, especially with some of these zombies, considering they're missing arms. One of them has his guts coming out, so you know it would be an axe cut of some sort. Let's get the focus back. There we go. So that is a very interesting, useful part. I'm just going to put it back here. He's also got this pistol, which fits very nicely into the sculpt of his hand, which is going to be an issue for the other guns. But this one does look the nicest, I think, because the other guns do look very good in his green, rubbery plastic, more of a thick plastic here. It's kind of thinner when we get to the strap itself, but I'm assuming that's just because it's, you know, thinner of the same plastic. But anyway, guns we've got back here, he's got this, I'm assuming this one's it looks more like a shotgun, but I think the other one's a shotgun. Yeah, but anyway, we have two different kinds of guns, as we can see right there. The issue with the guns that he's got here is they're very difficult to actually get him to hold them, or get him to hold them so that they're looking correct. The only place you can actually hold, I'm just going to call this one the shotgun, because to me that looks more like it, even though this looks, maybe it's a rifle, but it's got two barrels. I don't know. I'm not that great with guns. So anyway, this would have to slide this way in his hand. Oh, it went right in. What am I talking about? I'm being an idiot. Oh, it's probably because it's not quite how you're supposed to hold it, you know? So that looks a little strange, that he's just, you know, straight up pointing a shotgun slash rifle, or whatever the heck this huge gun is, at something's head, assuming, right? That's just a little absurd. Can't quite get him to hold it in a way that looks really nice. I was trying to get him to hold the guns with like two hands, you know, so he can hold it across his side. That's also very difficult because you basically need to find points that are thinner than the width of his hand to be able to hold things. You can do it in some spots, and it's kind of difficult to really get them to look nice, especially this gun. I've never gotten this gun to be held and looked nice, and there he goes right there holding it on camera. Wow, Rick, why don't you do this off camera for me? That went right in perfectly easy. Never mind, I'm complaining about nothing. That actually doesn't even look that bad. It's just, I think it's really difficult to actually get him to look like he's shooting this gun. But whatever, those are just meticulous complaints because he's coming with so many things, and I'm not even done showing you them all yet. I'm going to take the strap off so we can take a look at this. It is kind of difficult to get it in there, really easy to get it out, so I guess I'll just pose him differently after this. This is his duffel bag, or whatever the heck it is, and it can hold pretty much every gun he's got. It can probably even hold his arms if you wanted it to, or you know, a zombie arm, or I don't know, you can do anything with that. So this is bag. The strap typically looks better if you're wearing it this way, just because of the way it is sculpted. So try and keep it on his right shoulder. If I can pop his hair and his head off, I can show you how the vest will come right off as well. The vest, pop. There we go. As you can see, his sleeves are now wrong, but we have other arms like I showed you. There's his vest. It's kind of rubbery to grip onto him. It's got a very detailed badge as well with gold paint. Aside from that, I'm just totally dismantling this guy. He actually has a little, I believe it's called a holster. Like I said, I suck with gun names and everything, so the holder for his pistol can go right there on his hip. Easier to see when his vest is off. And actually, wait, no. I got those mixed up. I didn't think that fit right. This is the holder for his axe, like so. And on this side is his holster for the itty bitty pixel, the pistol, which I have lost on the floor before, which was a nightmare trying to find that thing. So anyway, yeah, you can totally gear him up, make him run for his life, you know, with his bag, with his 2 guns, axe and pistol or whatever. The arms, now that I'm moving down here, let's move these so I don't have another lose my gun in the carpet incident. These pop right off, which will really let you see how the figure is working. It's basically just a bunch of ball joints. We can get really close here and you can see his shirt actually does say Grimes and has yet another badge on it. It's very detailed. I was just amazed, blown away with how detailed these things are. There's a copyright, 2012 Kirkman. These things aren't that old. So just for his look's sake, I'm going to put him back together in the not wearing that gear. Let me get the hair back on. Sometimes it's a little hard to get the hair back on. This is this arm. They will, you can see by the sockets, they will just pop right on. This one's actually a little tougher to move. And then here's the other arm. I actually just noticed something a little weird about him. If I can get his arm in. Oh, yeah, I guess it is in. For some reason mine, I don't know if this is just mine or all of them. Mine's, let's see. No, they look the same. I was gonna say the skin tone's different on one arm compared to the other, but it's not. Weird, I don't know. Whatever. So anyway, the head on all of the Minimate figures are on a ball joint like I showed you. They will pop on and off, and his hair's not on right. Come on, Rick. What you doing? His hair's doing something weird today. So, the heads will move like that. The arms will move like so, pretty much any direction. Come on, focus, come back here. And you can pivot the arms. They've got stoppers so that they don't go forever. They still look really nice, like I was showing you up close. They're very detailed. The hands will pop out, like I think it popped out earlier this video. They turn. These are also interchangeable with basically any other Minimate that you can buy. Like if you're into some, I think they make Marvel, and there might be some DC ones, I don't know. But basically any parts that you find from those you can interchange. You can give to Rick, you can make him, I don't know, using like Hawkeye's bow or something. I don't know, but you know what I mean. You can just interchange a bunch of stuff from other series if you want to, which is usually pretty fun to do. Get some pretty funny pictures in there. There's a joint right here at the waist, which can help with some running poses if that's what you're doing. Really great for making the zombies look good too, because it looks very disorienting to them. Kind of irritated by that hair at the moment, so I'm going to put his hat back on, even though he really probably wouldn't be wearing it at this point, but whatever. So anyway, we got the legs, which are going to work very similar. They're on a ball joint, and then there's this knee joint right here we see. Foot fell out. Pop right back in, everything pops right back in. And if you do get a handle on some of these stands that I'm using from other figures, everything will just pop right into that circle base. And like I said before, these are Lego compatible, so you can actually build a Lego base for them if that is what you need, if you're really needing a base. So anyway, that is Rick and all of his glorious stuff. All that stuff, plus this other zombie I didn't even get to, just comes in this one package. That is crazy. I don't know if I just got a crazy deal or something, or if these guys really are kind of hard to find and valuable, but that is a crazy good deal for getting that Rick, because there's so much stuff in there. Rick comes with the one-armed zombie according to that package right there. At least this one right here, I believe, because the other one didn't quite have a full arm. No, it's this one. So, as you can see, a bunch of same types of posable joints as Rick had. I'm going to get up close so you can see some of the detail paint. They painted all over on this guy. What I find is like the nicest touch is this corner here where his ribs are supposed to be sticking out is actually exposing clear plastic. So this was all painted over clear plastic just to get that effect right there. Really, really nice. That's just a lot of extra effort for something so tiny and minimal. Really give them heads up or thumbs up for that one. The other arm is actually really, really nicely done too. As you can see, it's just kind of a bone with some meat on it hanging off of his body, which is so gross, but it just really looks great on a zombie figure. So his hair actually comes off. Really no purpose to take it off. Come on, focus. Come back here. Really no point to take his hair off, other than maybe if you wanted to put a mask on this guy or do something else. He also seems to be missing his jaw due to the painting. As you can see, there we go. There's his hair. And then more of that detail on the back. Only thing that's not torn up on him are his pants, which, whatever. Am I really going to complain about that? That was not quite all of it, because you can even give him a full arm. I believe this is his. This might be his, might not be his. I have one of the zombies I got in this pack came with an extra arm, and because of all the parts from Rick, I'm going to assume it is the other zombies that came with it, because there's this one zombie in the other pack that has an arm and a half, and that might be his arm. Kind of is reflecting the burns on him. No, it's not. It looks more like a cut, which it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. But anyway, I've never used this. This is just basically, like, why would you want to give that really cool detail of the half arm zombie a full arm again? I don't get it. Whatever. Maybe you want to give Rick a zombie arm or something. You could do that. The other two zombies I'm gonna grab, since we looked at this guy really close. Let's get our focus back. There we go. You can see one of his arms. This is the burned zombie, I believe. Yes. His face is all messed up. Look at that. Nah. He does not have a peg on his head. I think he's the only Minimate I have that does not have a peg on his head, which I don't really care. I'm not like interchanging parts on him or anything. He's just kind of there for atmosphere. Add zombies in the background of a pose I'm doing with Rick. Maybe throwing him in with something else. His chest is all burned up. You can see his clothes are burned up. There's that part on his arm. Works perfectly fine. It's just very tiny because it's missing the arm, obviously. I would assume it is his arm that's in over there. There's his back. And like the other one, his pants seem to be in perfectly fine condition. It's just his body that must have gotten that burn. So, it brings us to our last one here, which is the Guts zombie, I believe he's called. He has a hair piece, just like that other one, and it's, as you can see right there, peg is in the center, and the rest of this just kind of rotates around that peg. So obviously you want to keep the ears where the ears are, right? Here's his face. I don't even have any pupils, but he has some crazy detail on his face and body. I think the guts part, which is protruding out of his gut, is a peg, but I've never tried to take it off. It might just be glued on there. There's no need to take it off, really, unless you want to put guts on somebody's forehead or something. Yeah, it's not wanting to come off. So, anyway, that is right there on him. There's two detailed arms he has as well. There's one there. The other arm also has a lot of cuts and stuff. These arms actually look like the most like that other arm. But anyway, he is actually the first one to have damage to his pants, as we can see right there. By damage, I mean painted damage, not physical damage. I was very lucky, and none of these were actually physically damaged at all, especially for how little I paid. So, that is basically that whole set. Well, my whole set. Like I said, there was 2 more packs of these that I don't have, and that's just for, I believe, Series 1? gonna read the back of this one more time because I believe there's a whole lot more series than this. Yeah, this is series 1. These are the 2 others you could get from that, and I don't even know how many series they went after that. They started making a ton of them, like every single Walking Dead character. I think they even made some from the show, not just the comic. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm thinking of the other figures where they made some from the show and the comic, but anyway, they made a ton of different series after that, and they even made some that were black and white with like just red blood colored on them, stuff like that. So they've made a ton of these. You can really look up a ton of different ones, and you can find the ones that you're most interested in. So, as we're all done looking at the posability and paint of the figures, I'm going to show you some final shots, and I'm going to give you my final critiques on these Walking Dead Minimate figures. Alrighty, so now that we're taking one final look at these Walking Dead figures from the Series 1, which, by the way, I was just online taking a look at some of the prices, and these things really don't cost that much. Granted, I did get a really good deal for getting the 2 packs for $8, but you really don't have to spend much more to get even more of the figures. You can actually finish the series for not too much money. It's really not that bad. So that's really great that you get a really great value with these things. I'm really glad that I ended up getting Rick, the main character, with just a bunch of zombies, so I don't feel inclined to keep buying more of them, so I'm happy with my collection right now. I really think they look great. I love interchanging their parts with other figures of the other Minimate series. I have the Invincible ones, and they look really funny when you mix those together. Anyway, final thoughts. I think their painting is great, their posing is great, and for what you're getting for these little guys, for how little you're paying, these things are awesome. I'm really, really, really surprised with these Mini-Mates. So I hope you guys, if you've at least watched this far in the video, you should be clicking the Buy It Now button because, yes, you should be getting them. They're really great. Hope you like them because you should have them by now. Go get them. Well, that's it for this video. I'm going to see you guys in the next figure review video. Doo-doo.